All right, so now for the second part of this. So we went through the grades. Like I said, assignments, make sure you're timely on those. You see how all your grade works. The only extra credit that will be given is extra credit that has come in the form of extra problems on the end of an exam. Um, Couple things else I wanted to mention. Those grade things were probably the biggest, but as far as like group work goes, by all means, get together and work on homework. If you know people who are taking this class alongside of you, go ahead and do that. You can go to the math lab and get help on any homework, on any of the practice exams and these kinds of things. Obviously, tests will be done individually, but group work can be all done together. As far as academic dishonesty, like I said, you can use any means necessary to do your homework, but as far as the test, you have to take it up in a proctored setting on your own. And so if we find out you didn't, or if you know, took a note card when you shouldn't have, then you will get an F, and we'll follow along with the college's academic dishonesty problems as well. Um, yeah, like I said, typical lecture format will be what I use in the videos that I post. I'll try to keep the material and keep pace to about the same rate as I do in a typical lecture classroom. All right. Again, don't forget, if I ask you to pause videos, if something like that happens, go ahead and do it. Cell phones and calculators. I mentioned before that your calculator is something you're going to need. You'll be able to take that with you on every test. The other thing that I would like to say about that is that there's no cell phones allowed when you're taking a test. You'll have to put your cell phone away in the proctored setting, and same thing with a computer. So you have to have an actual calculator. You can't, use a computer or anything like that, other than the processor that's in your calculator. Um, Again, we're in an online setting, so make sure you're a good classmate. Don't do or post anything. And we don't do a lot of discussions in this course, so but if there is some sort of a discussion, don't post anything that you wouldn't have said in a classroom setting. Just again, the general idea is that you interact in this setting as you would in any other professional setting. So that's what I expect. Again, I don't anticipate anything like that coming up that never really has. As far as Moodle goes, I'm going to post a lot of things on Moodle. I'll post some practice problems. Those are practice exams, I should say. The due dates and the grades will all be posted in Moodle. So you should always know sort of where you're located, or excuse me, where grade-wise you are at in the class. Let me pull up Moodle real quick again. You'll notice that I've organized it. The syllabus explanation, part one's right there. You'll see a part two show up here as well, which is what I'm recording right now. You see the textbook in the second section. And then what I've done is I've separated out the course based on units. So unit 1 covers chapters 1 and 2. And what I've done, this will be about a quarter of the semester. I've taken the chapter 1 notes, the videos, the homework for chapter 1, and the same thing, the notes, the homework. The videos aren't up for chapter 2, but they'll be up shortly. And then all of that together will, material-wise, will translate into a test 1. And if you click on the practice for test 1, what you'll see is some practice problems and along with the answers. These aren't really like worked out solutions, but if you click on these, you'll see the answers to the problems alongside the answers. So there they are, those types of things. Again, I mean, we'll probably post some more about the practice tests and how to look at that as we get forward. Maybe not, but by the way, these little, each unit has a test associated with it. And if you click on that, that'll just tell you a due date and things of that nature for test 1. I'll be posting the due dates for chapter 1 homework, chapter 2 homework, and test 1 very shortly, so that you can get those as quickly as possible. But again, this is just the assignment, and it allows me to put things in the grade book. So let me turn the editing off there for a minute. There we go. Allows me to put things in the grade book. So unit 1 is chapters 1 and 2. Unit 2 is chapters 3 and 4. And you can see sort of the things that will be up on Moodle. Some of it's not totally populated yet because of, again, I'm putting up the videos as we speak. So there's a part 2 for the syllabus and things of that nature. But yeah, that's all pretty straightforward and understandable. If you do have any questions, again, or if I make a mistake in a video, I try to do everything clear and without error, but everybody makes mistakes. So if I do make a mistake either in a video or something like that, or online, I post 2018 instead of 2019, let me know and I'll try to fix that as quickly as possible. Same thing, my practice test solutions, I tried to make all the right solutions, but I'm just as susceptible of making a quick calculation mistake as anybody. So if there's a mistake on there, let me know on the practice test. The other thing that we go over here are some things that are more college-wide. The academic honesty nature of the college can be found here. I won't get into that. If you're more interested, you can look that up. Emergency procedures, most of you probably aren't even located at the college right now, but a requirement for every syllabus is that we have those on there. So if you're interested in those, check those out. If you do have a disability, Mid-Michigan College, this college, accommodates you, and so let us know how to do that. The Clery Act, that just says things about crime that happen on campus are disclosed, and you can look those things up here. FERPA, I won't share any of your public records. I've been very careful not to click on, like grades or anything. Not that anybody has any grades in there, but so I'm not going to click on your grade, and make it a public video or anything like that. But anything that is secluded to just you, things like grades are the most things that I deal with, but other places in the institution deal with other things. Disabilities, I will not reveal those to anybody outside of you and me. So you can drop the course there's certain timelines for withdrawal. So if you're going to go withdrawing on day 1, day 2, all of that sort of mixes into financial aid and things of that nature too. So you'll have to ask your advisor if you're going to drop that, what are the ramifications for it. But you don't need my permission. You can just go into your advisor and drop the course if you're not interested. Or if you think that an in-class setting is going to be a lot more beneficial to you, go and do the in-class setting. Again, you have to be very diligent to be successful online. So if you're looking for an in-class setting, make sure you can do that. In fact, I teach 3 other courses, 3 other Math 212 courses this semester. So even if you're enrolled in this course and you're like, man, I just don't get it, I want to sit in on one of those, go ahead and do that. You just drop in any of my other courses. You can look that up online through MidWeb if you're interested. The other place you can go to get help is the Math Lab. Other than me, the Math Lab is room 180. That's right next to my office. My office is 181C. The Math Lab is 180 in Mount Pleasant. In Harrison, There is some renovations going on this semester, so I'm not exactly sure which room number it is in Harrison, but there is a math lab in Harrison as well that is available. If you're looking to, hopefully you are looking to graduate from Mid-Michigan College at some point, and this does satisfy the quantitative reasoning general education component for all degrees that we offer here. So make sure you do that. I've listed the student learning outcomes. These are basically along the lines of what the textbook does. You'll notice that maybe they come in slightly different order than the textbook, but probability and counting rules, that is chapter 3 of the textbook, discrete probability distributions, those types of things, normal distribution, correlation regressions, chapter 12, so on and so forth. So I'm not going to belabor that point. You can look up all of those. Those are available online. The last thing I want to say is that this is the tentative semester schedule. The schedule starts as soon as we get in here, but roughly speaking, the first 4 weeks will be devoted to Unit 1, and so we'll have Exam 1 and Chapter 2 homework due there. I've actually moved the Chapter 1 homework due up to week 2. Because that'll allow me to, that's again January the 18th. So at the very end of week 2, at the beginning of week 3, that's kind of where, whatever you call it, that Friday at the end of the week, that'll be due on week 2. So this is tentative. The homeworks may change, from week to week. Maybe week 2 is chapter 1, maybe week 3. Again, January the 18th is chapter 1 homework is due, but tentative means that some of these homework things can change, but basically it's pretty well set that the first 4 weeks will be Unit 1, the second 4 weeks will be Unit 2, the third 4 will be Unit 3, and the last 4 will be the final unit, which includes that cumulative final exam. Not much else to say about that. You will notice that there's no Chapter 5 listed. There's no Chapter 11 listed. That is because we don't go over those chapters. We're going to skip those chapters. Some of them just because they're short. Others because, we kind of already get to that point through another means. So in any case, that is the syllabus. If you have any questions, like always, make sure you contact me, and we should have a great semester. Now, the next thing you should do is you should start diving into Chapter 1, and then after that, take a look at the homework. Oh, one thing I forgot to say that I'm doing right now, this is the first semester that I did that, so I forgot to say it earlier. If you click on Chapter 1 notes, and I'll say this more in the Chapter 1 notes video, you'll see sort of guided notes and then PowerPoints. Normally in class I'd go over the PowerPoints. If you want some guided notes, you can click on that. I already have those up. And you can kind of see what those are. They're basically, they go along with the PowerPoints in a fairly one-to-one straightforward manner. So if you want to do that for every single chapter, I'll try to get guided notes along with the PowerPoints up. And that's what I will be going over when I do those videos.